The 49ers don't play this weekend, but they're going to improve in playoff positioning anyway. Life is good over the bye week as Casper takes us to our next destination. Look, there's Alcatraz in the water off in the distance. Can't see the water as well as we normally do. Even despite the fact that they won't play this weekend, they're certainly going to climb up to at least number 6. And that is because the Green Bay Packers and the Chicago Bears play. One of those two teams is going to lose, and even in the event of a tie, the 49ers will move up to 6. If the Packers lose, they drop to 8-4-1, which would be a worse record than the 49ers' 9-4. If the Bears lose, they drop to 9-4, which is the same record as the 49ers. But San Francisco has gone 8-2 in NFC conference play, which means that they own a valuable tiebreaker over everyone in the NFC right now. Even the Rams, they're just 4-3 in NFC conference play. So the 49ers are really, really well set up as far as tiebreakers go. So you can cheer for either the Packers or the Bears. Either way, the 49ers are going to benefit. In the morning, the Seattle Seahawks play at the Atlanta Falcons. I'm sure many will be gathering at this corner featuring Balboa Cafe right in front of the setting sun. The days are short at this point, but many will be watching the Seahawks and the Falcons on Sunday morning. Obviously, the 49ers would love for the Falcons to upset Seattle. There's Fire Department number 16 featuring a Joe Montana jersey. Joe Montana, actually a resident of the Marina, the neighborhood where I'm driving through right now. Technically Cow Hollow, but yes, he's friends with the guys at San Francisco Fire Department Station number 16. Anyway, Seattle and Atlanta, it's not likely that the Seahawks will lose that game, but never say never. It is an early body clock start for the Seahawks. And if they do lose, well, the 49ers will jump ahead of Seattle in terms of playoff positioning. So San Francisco can climb up higher than number 6 if the Falcons pull the upset over the Seahawks. Then there is the Rams game this weekend. That's against the Arizona Cardinals. And that one is going to be happening in the afternoon. That is a 1:25 p.m. Pacific time kick for the Rams and the Cardinals. Also unlikely that the 49ers get help in that game. But if the Rams do drop to 9-4, well, San Francisco would have the tiebreaker over them. They're 1-1 in head-to-head play against the Rams this year, but LA does not have the same conference record as the 49ers. In fact, the Rams right now are 4-3 in conference play, and if the Cardinals somehow upset them, the Rams will drop to 4-4, which would not be good for some of their tiebreaker prospects. So the three games that you should be paying closest attention to are the Bears, Packers, the Rams, Cardinals, and to kick off today, the Seahawks and the Falcons. The 49ers, if they get results in their favor in both of those NFC West games, if they see the Rams and the Seahawks both lose, the 49ers can climb as high as number 2 in the NFC seedings this weekend. So it could be a very, very steep climb for San Francisco, just like this climb up Pacific Heights without even having to play a football game. Look at this. We're on Broadway, Pearson Broadway. We're not too far from the Mrs. Doubtfire house here in San Francisco. We're making a sharp turn. Wow. I mean, this is, I wouldn't say it's a 45-degree climb, but I feel that Casper always does take the steepest way up Pacific Heights, and it's the most scenic way for us, which I really, really do appreciate. Look, we're going to be turning left on Scott. No, we're going to be going straight. So we're going to go to the, again, we're taking the hard way, which I feel that the 49ers have done this season. Maybe not by their own choice, but all the injuries for San Francisco have made this a tremendously uphill climb. But as we speak right now, the 49ers have the most wins of any NFC team. They obviously are tied with the Rams, tied with the Seattle Seahawks, tied with the Chicago Bears for that distinction. One of those teams is going to, in all likelihood, win on Sunday while the 49ers are sitting at home. So San Francisco probably will not stay in that spot of the most wins in the NFC, but they're still going to be in excellent position when this weekend ends. And then on Monday night, to cap off the weekend, the 8-4 Philadelphia Eagles play Jim Harbaugh and the 8-4 Los Angeles Chargers at SoFi, and the obvious 49ers rooting interest there, LA, and their former coach, Jim Harbaugh. Because if the Eagles lose, then the 49ers jump ahead of Philadelphia on the loss column, and if you're getting greedy and you're talking about a potential 49ers number 1 seed, then Philadelphia is one of the teams with whom they are competing. And then they've got to start taking care of business themselves. They've got the Tennessee Titans coming into town next week, December 14th. That is the 1-11 Tennessee Titans, so that should be an opportunity for San Francisco to move to 10-4. And then it is the stretch run against the Colts, against the Chicago Bears, and against the Seattle Seahawks. That's going to be a massive, massive game to close the regular season, in all likelihood, for San Francisco against Seattle. Because you talk about divisional tiebreakers, you talk about conference tiebreakers. That game is going to feature implications in all likelihood for both of those. And, for conference tiebreakers, that Chicago Bears matchup on December 28th, Sunday Night Football, is also going to be very, very important. We're at the top of Pacific Heights, near Golden Hour. You can take a look at some of these big buildings. I love the route that we're taking today. This is fun. I'm headed to the store over in the inner Richmond district, so perhaps we're going to get a nice little view here from Casper over this hill. It's going to be fun to sit back and finally watch some football without having to worry about a 49ers game. It's crazy. This is the latest bye in 49ers history. They have never had a Week 14 bye. But that's how it sets up this year. And I think, given the fact that it was tough to get to this point if you're the 49ers, but the fact that they have made it to this point, I think in decent shape now, they are a healing football team, means that there is a good chance that they're going to be able to leverage this as a true boost for the stretch run for December moving into January. They could be fresher because of this, because other teams don't have buys like this. Look, we're going to make a nice passing maneuver. Maybe the 49ers can pass the Seahawks and the Rams, just like Casper just passed that car. You can see the edge of the Presidio here, and maybe we'll even be able to take a peek at the golf course. Presidio is an old Spanish fort in San Francisco that's been turned into a beautiful park, and this little road just hugs the Presidio. I don't know why Casper's decided to take this way. Look, the Golden Gate Bridge. You can see it peeking through there. This is awesome. I mean, we might not have taken the easiest route, but we've taken the most beautiful one, and I feel that's really emblematic of what the 49ers have done this season. Right, stuck here right at the stop sign. This feels really European to me. Look at all the stonework. Look at Casper make that left turn with no driver. Invisible. Up Presidio Heights. I believe that Steve Kerr lives in this neighborhood, the Golden State Warriors coach. We've got a big piece up on the San Francisco Standard taking a look at the 49ers offense and the analytics behind where they're at right now. The strain that they've gone through to get to this point, because it has not been easy, will not be easy moving forward. They have not been explosive when it comes to the wide receiver position. That's why they could really use Brandon Ayuk. It's unlikely that they're going to have him this season, but that yards per route run numbers for the 49ers have been shockingly bad at wide receiver, given where they are as an offense. They've cracked the top 10 as an offense now. It is a Purdy year. It is a Christian McCaffrey year. It is a George Kittle year. Nothing that the 49ers have accomplished so far, and nothing that the 49ers will accomplish moving forward has happened conventionally for this offense, but it's an unusual year, and the 49ers can achieve success through unusual means. So I delved into all of that up on the San Francisco Standard. You can have a read. We're going to go through the 49ers defense here in a couple days. It's a good time here at the bye week to do that analytic check-in. This is the deepest 49ers coverage that you're going to get. You can take a look at all the charts, tables, and the final takeaway by looking under the hood of this 49ers offense of what they're going to need over these final 4 games. But for the time being, it is smart to look at where the 49ers are in terms of the standings and what kind of help they can get this weekend. They're going to move up to at least number 6, potentially higher, potentially number 4, and potentially number 2 if they also get help from teams playing the Seahawks and the Rams. But that Bears-Packers game, it's going to help the 49ers no matter what. And of course, that is really, really good news for San Francisco. One more left turn. We're almost at our destination. Casper signing off and saying goodbye from sunny yet chilly San Francisco.